Hey y'all, today's episode comes right from the 1 Corinthians chapter in the Bible, chapter 13, verse 4 and 5, and it talks about love is patient, love is kind, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, and it keeps no record of wrongs. Okay, so y'all know I love the metaphors, so let's start off with one. So I want you to imagine that you're walking into a house and the foundation is cracked. Right? So the foundation, the house, everything is just leaning. The walls are leaning. And every time you go to turn the lights on, everything just flickers. And instead of fixing the house, your partner looks at you and says, well, maybe you just expect too much from this house. Well, guys, that's what some of y'all are being told about your relationships. But what if the things that you're asking for are just the bare minimum? And what if what you were really craving isn't unrealistic, it's just being unmet? So, all right, let's just jump right into it. Welcome to the Taylor Frequency. Today, we're going to address the bare minimums. And this is not just for women, guys. We're opening up for men too. I'm not sure who needs to hear this, but somebody out there right now is shrinking themselves to put themselves in this box. And they're doing it so that they can keep the peace. And occasionally they're watering themselves down so that other people around them don't get overwhelmed. And at times they've told you that you're too much. And at times you're starting to maybe question it. Am I too much? Well, if that's what's happening, you might just be asking the wrong person or the wrong people to show up the right way. So let's get into what some people keep calling too much. First things first. Physical touch. Some people are saying that physical touch is too much. Well, let me tell y'all, it's a human connection. Physical touch matters. So a holding of the hand, a random hug, a simple touch, rubbing of the back, that's not too much. And that's not clingy, so don't let anybody fool you and tell you that's being clingy. Again, that's human connection. And if showing affection feels like a chore to somebody, I gotta tell you, that's not an issue with love languages. That's a straight up mismatch. How about ghosting you during the conflicts, right? They don't want to talk about it and you do, right? You want to clear the air. You want to hash things out. And it's not because you actually enjoy fighting, because I don't think anybody wakes up and just says, I hope I mess my day up with a fight. You're doing it because you care. Because if you don't care, you just walk away and be like, next. But now they shut down, they go quiet, and they emotionally disconnect. And that's not keeping the peace. That's going to create distance, right? That's going to create distance between the two of you. How about taking accountability? I personally think that's super attractive. When somebody hurts you, they should own it. They shouldn't defend what they did with excuses. It's simply saying, I didn't realize that hurt you. I'll do better. That's what you call emotional maturity. How about allowing you to be yourself? Nobody wants to feel like they have to perform to be loved or noticed. Everybody needs a day off. And if you can't have what they call an off day and express your emotions, or always being labeled as you're doing too much, that's not love, that's pressure. And it's changing you indirectly. How about the small things? Yes, they do matter. They should find some time in their day to just do a small little check-in. Back in the days, you used to have to pick up the phone and make a phone call. Well, today it could be just a very short text, and a short text. So it's not about the big things. It's just about being consistent. And nothing confuses us more than someone who says, oh, I love you, but then they move like they barely think about you in their day. And trust, that's a natural thing, right? We don't just randomly give trust away. So if their actions don't match their words, and now it's causing you to have to play detective, that's not a good thing. You shouldn't have to go through their phones or question everything, because real consistency, that's what removes suspicion. And presence matters, guys. Don't settle for less. Being in the same room is not the same as being present. That's when you need to put the phone down. They should be engaging with you, because half attention feels lonelier than being alone. So no, these aren't high standards. These are the foundation of respect, foundation of emotional safety, and it's the start of real love. And if someone feels like these are just too much, then again, maybe you're asking for the right things, but just from the wrong person. Thanks for supporting my channel. Please like, follow, and share.